God can use any crazy moment to drop attention just to show off, like a snake bite that doesn't hurt, just to preach the gospel. All eyes on Paul, all ears on the gospel. Today on FBS, we'll be shining light on this brief but very, very educating story in the book of Acts, chapter 28, from verse 1. So imagine escaping from a shipwreck, and you just come to a place, you just escaped from the sea, you're trying to make fire so that the place can be warm, and boom, a snake jumps out and perches on your hand. Paul alongside some other disciples had like a shipwreck, and after they survived, they arrived the city of Malta, the island. So some islanders who welcomed them were trying to help them make a fire because they needed to keep warm after the whole sea incident. A snake just jumps out of the firewood and lashes on Paul's hands. And everybody was just whispering. The islanders were just saying to themselves that, this man, are you sure he's innocent? He must be a murderer, because how can you just escape a sea accident and now a snake is here to bite you? I think this snake is trying to make him pay for his sins, because why not? Well, maybe if I were one of the islanders, I would have thought so too, because not only you just had a near-death experience and now a snake has come again. But Paul, who was still as calm as ever, just looked at the snake and just shakes his hand, and then he just shakes the snake off into the fire. There's this confidence you always have when you know that God is with you and nothing shall by any means harm you. Damn, imagine a snake on your hand, no panic attack, no parrying, and you just shake it off. What a show of fire. Remember that song we used to sing when we were little? Shake, shake, shake into the fire. I'm sure it was gotten from this passage of the Bible. Okay. When the islanders saw that this guy was still very normal, no swelling, no biting, no feeling weak, nothing, he wasn't sick, he just went about his activity like nothing happened, they thought to themselves, he must be a god. From thinking he was a murderer to thinking that he's a god. That is what can happen when you're always guided by the Spirit of God. I mean, people will just think that you're a superhuman. But yeah, Paul, who doesn't want to take the glory to himself, told them that he wasn't a god, that he was just a minister of God. And this made way for the islanders to just listen and receive the gospel of Jesus. I mean, if you see this kind of thing happen, won't you be in awe? You will want to know, what does this guy know? Who does he have that, has done this kind of thing for me? So I want to know your God. And that was how Paul penetrated and preached the gospel to them. He even went ahead to perform a miracle through Jesus by healing the father of their chief. Wow. So you see what I was saying in the beginning, that God can use any dramatic moment to draw attention. I mean, where did the snake come out from? And of all the people for the snake to perch on their hand, it was Paul's hand. That's because God wanted to draw attention to him, because he knew that that was a kairos moment. He was going to be needing him in a moment like that to spread the gospel to the islanders. Next time when life strikes, shake it up into the fire, having faith and believing that God can handle anything and nothing shall by any means harm you. So this brings us to the end of this short story. I'll be sharing with you what I learned from the story, and don't forget to comment yours too. Stay tuned. So the first thing I learned on today's story is that trouble doesn't mean that you're cursed or something is wrong with you. Some people, when they are facing a hard time, they just start assuming that maybe something is wrong with me, maybe I am cursed, maybe because why is God allowing all these things to happen to me? Sometimes God allows some things to happen to you because in the end it's going to bring glory to his name. He just wants to use you to show off. So it doesn't mean that anything is wrong with you or that you've done anything to deserve that moment of chaos in your life. So I also learned that panic doesn't really solve anything. Sometimes we just panic a lot, especially in the face of trouble. But you see, Paul was calm. He didn't shout, he didn't run, he just shook off his hand. So sometimes when issues of life come flooding in, don't panic, just stay calm. And these things just find a way of resolving themselves. Faith over fear. And the last but not the least A chaotic situation can be a blessing in disguise. I mean, see how that show of snake bite made the people to believe in Paul. They had faith and they listened and heard the gospel of Jesus Christ. So let's try to see how we can turn our adversaries to our own gain. I hope you had fun in today's story just like I did. Until I come your way next time, don't forget to keep reading your Bible, like, share, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, Messian. Bye.